Minasan, okari nasai. Today I am once again here to make a video that will almost immediately be outdated because the industry is just constantly pumping out new content. I will be covering every lady's photo books from all of the Bushiroad franchises. Bang Dream, Revue Starlight, Assault Lily, and even D4DJ. Gonna be focusing on what's labeled as photo books rather than small features in magazines, or we'd be here all day and I'd miss so many. Because some of these girls have done a lot of modeling, though I will include grab your DVD releases as well. Also, a bunch of these girls are in multiple franchises, so I'll cover them where I feel they are more popular in. As always, there's a chance that I miss some, as there are like 50 plus girls between these franchises, and I may not be as familiar with some. So if I miss anything, let me know down below. Also, these girls are not as active as Love Live girls in terms of modeling. That's why I felt comfortable having 4 different franchises in one video, and it will still probably be shorter than the Love Live one. Some of those girls will actually even also be featured in this one. Oh, and I'm sure it goes without saying, but if I don't mention a girl, it's because they have no books. So, let's get started with Bang Dream, and specifically Poppin' Party. Ayase Ito had Ayase Shock in 2019, and then Honey in 2023, both being very lovely. Her alongside Mikoi Sasaki and Aimi are the trio known as Team Y. They've had the book Young in 2023, and that's what the Y in their name stands for. Sayotsuka has her only book Stain released in 2019, shot in Guam. Ayaka Ohashi had her 10th anniversary memorial book in 2022 titled Sunflower. The following year was her first proper book, Rashisa, being very daring, not expected of her, but as always, very lovely. Moving on to Yuki Nakashima, who is the most so far. Yuki Koi in 2019, Sketchbook in 2021, then a special photo book of pictures taken from her from 2019 to 2022, released in 2023. Last year she had Yukino album and a digital-only book titled After the Rain. This year will be her 4th book, currently untitled, but shot in Australia. Then Kana Chisaki, surprisingly, has only had the digital book in 2024 with My Girl magazine titled Eyes on Me. Kudoharu had the book 910HR in 2018, though in Japanese it is obviously pronounced very differently and it's actually even a pun on her name. Then, not a book, but I'll also mention her having a travel DVD with Sawako Hata, her in-universe sister. As for Hata herself, I'll just cover her now instead of the pastel palette section. Because, well, I can't find any solo books. She did do some grabbier back in her AKB days. And very unfortunately, none of the girls in RAS have any kind of book, only modeling for many different companies. Well, there is sort of an exception I'll go over in a minute, but let's move on to the butterflies. Hamane Shindo has only had one proper book, Midori, in 2023. Digital books include Tickle, in collaboration with BLT Company in 2022, Shizune, which I believe was in 2023, and then Crazy About You in 24 with Weekly Flash magazine. No proper books for Hina Suguta, but with her best friend Shiharu, they had a little collab book with Seiyu Tomophoto in 2013. Similar situation with Yuka Nishio, who has had a collab book with the same company with Ryo Karachi in 2022. Both situations also serving as promotions for their respective Nico programs. With My Go, Koko Hayashi is the only one, having her first and only so far book, Koko Ichiban, in 2024. I'm sure she will have more to come. I would also expect something from Yomiya in the near future as she is getting more popular every day. Then Aoki is just a pure beauty, so maybe something from her in the future as well. With Ave Mujika, we only have Mei Okada, and her first book also being last year, simply titled May. Though she has done a few swimsuit shoots for her D4DJ group, but a little more on that later. Well, I guess there's also the promotional photo book for the upcoming My Go Ave Mujika joint live, which I'm sure will feature all of the girls in it. Moving on to the supporting cast with Afterglow, Ayane Sakura, first and only Sakura no Oto in 2018. Seems she didn't enjoy it too much. I swear I remember her talking about it not being fun, and thus she hasn't done another one since. Then Sachika Misawa has Sachika, releasing way back in 2014, the earliest one in this video. Well, so far at least. Now with pastel palettes, we have Ami Maishima, who only has one real book in 2020, being a celebration of her 10th anniversary in the industry. There were also a whole bunch of photo shoots when she was very young with her group Supergirls, a bunch even being compiled into a collection book. Now we have our first heavy hitter, Sumire Uesaka, who has a lot. The most so far, and there's a chance that I even missed some of them. But from what I've gathered, her first was way back in 2013, Sumipi no Keiko to Taisaku. 2015 with Sumipi no Choto Dake Kontan. A few years later in 2018, she had both Shashin Shu and Sumipi no Flashback My Life. Sumire Iro was in 2019. A to Z in 2020, Sumire no Yume in 2022, which is the best one in my opinion. 2024, she had her 10th anniversary book, and finally, this year of 2025, she very recently had Sumipi no Hokoribon. That's like 9 books. Damn. And I'm sure she's gonna have a 10th one next year. And very surprisingly, there's nothing from Ariozawa, and nothing from Ikumi Nakagami. And just to reiterate from earlier, nothing from Sawako Hata aside from some gravure back when she was a more traditional idol. Hello Happy World has 2 more big hitters. First, Miku Ito, first book Mujaki in 2016. Miku Ito Another Palette in 2018. Miku no Ehon, as well as Sheer in 2021. Sheer being my personal favorite of hers. And actually still in that year, Miku's first solo camp and Beyond, which are both smaller books. Might not even be labeled as proper books, honestly. But moving on to her best friend, Moi Toyota, another person with many, many books. First one being More in 2017. Moe Neko was in 2018. Moe Emotion in 2019. Moe Gorashi in 2020. Digital only off mode in 2022, which only consisted of off shots from magazines, hence the name. Another digital only Okinawa Rhapsody in 2023, and finally Moe in 2024. Nothing announced for this year yet, but I'm sure she'll be shooting something in the summer. And then Moishi with Miku as their duo unit Pixis have had 3. Harmony in 2017, Popping Cute the following year. If you were only allowed to look at one book in the whole video, I recommend this one. And then they had their 5th anniversary book in 2020. The only other happy girl to have a book is Azusa Tadokoro, having 3. As I Am in 2019, a little play on her name there. Yohaku in 2022, and Chat Noir in 2024. Chat as in cat in French, by the way, so if you're trying to type it in, type in Chat Noir. Before we move on, just to quickly mention a few more of the supporting casts not associated with those bigger groups. Sora Tokui in 2016 had Soromaru no Hikidashi, which seems to be labeled as a fan book, but looking at the cover, it is very clearly a photo book. Even apparently having some swimsuit photos in it too. Nice. But she also had her second book, Soromaru's Drawer, in 2018. Yuka Ozaki also has 2 books, Peter in 2018, and Ozaki Yuka in 2020. Also a fair amount of gravure with magazines. Now let's go over the Revue Starlight girls real quick. First up, Momo Yokoyama had her first book, Tanari, in 2021. Then another photo book, that's the title, in collaboration with Gamers, which is a spin-off, I believe, having a few of the same pictures, probably released in the following year. She has also had at least one book with her former Seiyu unit Sound Orion at some point before 2021, as Runa Narumi is in this book and she retired that year. Moika Koizumi in 2023 had her first and only so far, Kimi Yasumi, also having a Legenda fashion book in the same year, and a mini book with Young Jump titled Traveling in 2024. Then 4 books with her and Haruki's duo unit, Harumoe, one each year from 2021 to 2024, simply being titled after the location they were shot in, like Kyoto and Hyogo. Going by this logic, they will probably have one this year as well. Hinata Sato, surprisingly, has only had one back in 2020, titled Owl, or Blue in English. Also very surprising is Suzuko Momori only having one, Mimarine, in 2013. Then Teru Ikuta had her first, Neutral, last year of 2024. Finally, Maho Tomita had a few gravure videos many years ago, like early 2000s, at least 3 of them, that were maybe tied to photo books. Since it was so long ago, it's kind of hard to confirm, but I do know she had the book Maho that came out in 2003, and also Chosu Love came out at some point. I also saw a listing that she had a special 30th anniversary book in 2023, but I can't actually find it anywhere. So take that as you will, and we are going to move on to D4DJ. Haruka Mimura did a few photo shoots before joining the franchise, which was around 2019, so sometime before that. Then a few years later had a full-on gravure DVD in 2023 titled Shinharu World. She's another one where it's very surprising there's no books from, but I'm sure in due time. Ai Negishi had Nobody Knows over a decade ago in 2013. Love for All coming out a year later, and then quite some time later was Abiding Love in 2022. Natsumi Hirojima has done many gravure videos and been in many magazine shoots. But as for proper books, she had Natsukoi in 2016, and then Natsumikan in 2018. I also found at least one with her time in AKB48 around 2014, I assume, titled Natsumikan Kawaii. And then Mermaid as a whole has had 3 books over the years, Summer Flower Love Dream in 2020, After Party in 2022, and this year of 2025, they have given us Heaven. Perfect name. Riona Kato has no proper book, but she has done some gravure, all being DVDs rather than books. Rihonyanba Ichi in 2017, Rihona Tokebu from 2019, and Rihona to Nangoku Joshitabi in 2020. Then the one I can't find a date for being Rihonyan Kingdom. Sunko, again very surprisingly, has only had one proper book over in 2023, but has also done a lot of gravure and continues to do so to this day. With lyrically, we have Ruka Fukugawa and Yuzuki Watase, like their senpai, had a photo book together sponsored by Seiyu Tomophoto in 2023. Also again as a sponsorship for their Nico program. Oh hey, totally forgot to mention Kotori Koiwai. Usually associate her more with Idolmaster, but she is the DJ and music producer for her group Unicord. And she has one photo book releasing in 2020 titled Earphones and Headphones. Here's my copy. She's very pretty and very passionate about music. Hikaru Yura has not had any books. One site said she had one in 2022, but I can't find it anywhere. It didn't even seem to have a title either, so yeah. But back in her time with STU48, she did have lots of gravure shoots. And the last lady for this franchise, Yuka Aisaka, who is newerish to D4DJ, but has been in the industry for some time now. 17 Degrees being her first book in 2019. Then last year of 2024, she had Shumatsu Iso. Now for the final franchise and the last 5 or so girls. We have Assault Lily, starting with Hikaru Tono, having Hatsuyoi in 2024. Pretty surprising, but very welcomed. Yuko Natsuyoshi will be releasing her first book in just a couple weeks, though I don't think it actually has a title yet. Erika Ishitobi had Cheer in 2019, and then Dono Erika in 2024, produced partially by Moi Toyota. Karin Isobe had her first book, Watashi Meku, in 2023, then digital-only Steamy Journey last year, and this year she has shown lots of gravure shoots with various magazines, though I don't think anything has been labeled as an official book. And for the last lady of the video, Kaori Maeda had her first, Otona no Kaori, in 2022. Then her second was The Scent of Love in 2024, showing us a very different side of her. And finally, a spin-off to that second book, titled Baby's Breath, releasing fairly recently, like a couple weeks ago. And that's the end of the main video, but I want to show off my collection for a second. These being all the Bushiroad books I have so far. I also have the Kotori book that I mentioned earlier, but I forgot about it when taking this photo. Gonna do my best to get a few from Sumipi and Yuki this year. Also, I want more from Miku. Then just a couple of fun facts real quick. Sumire has the most with 9, Moishi has 7, and Miku has 6. Though if you count the Pixis books too, then Miku also has 9, and Moishi would have the most with 10. 2024 had the most releases by far, like 10 or so. The last 3 years have just been crazy with all the amount of content being released. This year actually already having so many, so maybe by the end of this year it will surpass last year's count. Lastly, I just would love to see books from Aimi, Reo, Sumu, Suguta, and a full hard copy book from Shizaki. I know Reo has expressed an interest in a proper book, so hopefully we get one. Sumugi too, really hoping for one from her, like the most. Oh, and as I said in the intro, this will be outdated pretty fast, but when new books come out involving the girls, I will have a pinned comment and I will keep updating it as time goes on. So that's the ending. As always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed and learned something new. If so, please do leave a like, and for sure join me in the next video about the center for a former very successful Seiyu unit. I look forward to seeing you there.